Hi there, and welcome to Purpose Driven Marriage Podcast. It's a joy to be here once again, and we are so excited to be with you.
Yes.
In case this is your first time that you're joining us, my name is Dr. Samuel Ekunda, and this is my beautiful wife.
I'm Blessing Ekundayo. You're welcome.
Today we're going to be continuing on the series we started last week where we started to talk about communication in marriage. Today we want to give you tips for effective communication in marriage. We've had our major shares of failures when it comes to communication. We are still growing. God is helping us. But some of the things we have learned over the years, it's been 12 years of marriage. Some of the things we've learned over the years that God has used to really help our communication. We're going to share some of them with you, back it up with some stories, back it up with some illustrations that could really also help you too. And feel free to also let us know what you probably will do instead of some of the things we are suggesting in the chat. Let's make it as interactive as possible like we did last week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Should we go?
Yes, and if you missed last week's episode, please go and watch it so that there is a bit of context.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to repeat ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we said a lot about communication last week.
Yes.
Yes.
And last week we did say a lot around, what communication is, the different types of communication, the most important things about communication.
Yes, and how it's the lifeblood of
your
relationship.
It's powerful.
Yes.
It's very powerful.
Yes.
So please go ahead and watch it if you missed that particular episode. We want to thank those who are with us live right now. If you are, and
thank you so
Sister
much.
Ohio, God bless you. We really value and appreciate you. All right, let's jump straight into what we have in store for us.
Yes, we have 6 points, 6 tips for effective communication in marriage. So let's go. Yeah. So the first point or the first tip is that it's important for you to be a good listener. This one is deep. We didn't say be a good
listener.
We didn't say be a good hearer. We said be a good listener. Because there's a difference. Some of us we are just waiting to hear to reply, our spouse. Okay, he's finished saying what he wants to say. Now let me talk. Let me give it back to him or her. But we have actually not listened to what they have said. We're just hearing to attack, to reply. But listening goes beyond just hearing. Yeah. It focuses on understanding, understanding the speaker, understanding the thoughts, understanding their feelings, understanding their ideas, understanding what it is that they are trying to tell you. Yeah. So you can know how they feel.
Yeah. Not so that you can know how to respond.
To reply
Very
to them.
Important. Very important.
And the reality with listening is that sometimes if you're not careful, when you are paying attention to what the person is saying to you, you are filtering what they are saying based on your own experiences, based on your own idiosyncrasies, based on your own feelings also, or even based on what you think about them.
Subconsciously, that's what we all do.
Yes.
We all do that subconsciously.
Yes.
We filter things through the lens of our mind, through the lens of our biases and so on. But it takes intentionality to stop that filtering and actually try to understand the other person. It takes intent. That's why it's a point in what we are talking about. It's not automatic. No, nobody does it automatically. Even the best of listeners don't do it automatically.
Yeah.
The best of listeners have to switch into that mode and remind themselves that, hey, this conversation, I'm going to be present. I'm going to understand. I'm going to listen. I'm going to be available to listen, to understand what this person is trying to say and not filter it. You know how they say, we listen, we don't judge.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
This is exactly what we're talking about. You are listening, you are not judging, you are not, you just want to understand.
Yeah, even if what they are saying is not very pleasant to your ears. For example, even when you feel like, you don't like the correction that you are being given. Yeah. You feel like, I don't
or
like
you have a completely different
opinion.
perspective.
Yes, you still need to respect that person who is expressing themselves, and allow them finish what it is they are trying to get off their chest. Especially if, for example, I've come to meet my husband, I've come to tell him about, oh babe, what I don't like that you I feel so what I was just about to say was about him going to bed without later years, but I caught myself right now. I said, I don't like that you, but that's a wrong way to communicate, by the way. I shouldn't say I don't like that you don't, I should say something like this. So this is practical.
Yeah.
I feel like
left alone.
Yes, I feel left out, Yes. I don't feel connected, when I'm on the bed by myself. I would love that we go to bed together, right? That's sweeter. That's more gentle than I don't like how you normally go to bed.
That's less.
The moment was about to come from my mouth, I'm like, he's gonna feel attacked.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That's what the Holy Spirit does. I mean, if you can relate, please say yes in the chat.
Yeah, so that was very practical. So, and that's how communication should be. That way, it's easier for him to listen.
Yeah.
And then I finished saying what I want to say.
Yeah. So the goal of listening is not to reply. The goal of listening is to understand. We've established that it is actually subconscious to just want to listen to reply, but it takes a lot of intentionality and consciousness to actually want to listen to understand. What we have realized is if you don't listen, you cannot empathize. If you don't understand someone, you cannot empathize with the person. And this is this is one of the major reasons why their conflicts arise from simple communication. Something that would have just been a simple communication, simple means of connection will become something else because the other person did not listen to understand. If the other person was not keen to understand, the other person had judged, before the other person even finished, and now they just want to reply and give it back to them, share their own opinion, and then the whole thing becomes what we call a crazy cycle. Everybody is now giving it back. Something that could have ended in just 3 minutes now goes on to 3 days.
So you don't interrupt the person when they are speaking. Don't try and hold your tongue.
Yeah.
Or count 1 to 100 while you are still listening.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
So the second thing.
Yeah, the second thing is that you focus fully.
Yeah.
When the other person is communicating with you. So that's listening is one point, but this one is about being present. This one is about being emotionally available while they are speaking to you. We live in a world that is full of distractions. Like literally, we could be talking like this, and next thing my phone does plunk, and all of a sudden, even if you don't pick up the phone, your mind is like, who texted? Where are they going? Are they okay? Like who are the 4-5 possible people that could text me right now at this time where I am? And guess what? In that split second, your mind is split also between what you are trying to listen to and the activity that could possibly be going on. And this is one of the barriers to effective communication in marriage or in any relationship for that matter. But we're talking about marriage today.
Yes.
So that's why your spouse can't get to you. That's why it's hard for you to emotionally connect. Why? Because it looks as though we are prioritizing distractions
over them. And that's very sad. And it could just be even like just simple conversations. I just say, oh, babe, babe, do you, I'm wanting to connect with him, for example. And I'm saying, sweetheart, do you remember what happened the other day? And he's all about looking at the phone.
Yeah.
it's like yeah. So at that point in time, it's like I'm not getting his attention.
In case anybody's
and vice
wondering,
versa.
I'm trying to quickly edit
example.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I'm not getting his attention, or he's not giving me his attention. And so it is I feel at that point in time that phone that he's on is more important than what I am trying to communicate to him.
Than me.
Yes, or than me. Yes. And it happens a lot. For example, I recently saw a video on Instagram, where a lady was having a woman was celebrating her birthday, and it was time for her to cut the cake. And all of a sudden, like while they were there cutting the cake, and they were singing a happy birthday, her husband was right there beside her. Well, this man that I believe is her husband, was right there beside her to help her cut the cake. And what was he doing all through? He was on the phone, typing away.
I remember
and they were singing her birthday, and her hand was on the cake, and you could see his attitude, he wasn't saying anything, but his attitude was communicating a lot. He wasn't paying attention. He wasn't focusing. He was saying, oh, I don't respect this woman. I don't care about this woman. After all, I've spent, maybe he gave her money, but that's all I can.
Maybe he was the one that bought the cake, organized the birthday.
You know, it's saying a lot. So when we are having conversations with our spouses and we are not giving them that attention, it doesn't speak well. You know, so whatever it is, even a simple conversation, they need that attention. You know, so avoid the distractions with you know, social media all these days, you know. And I'm very guilty also. We all are. Like everything we are sharing and we're going to share today, it takes a lot of intentionality. Yes, absolutely.
Subconsciously, you know, what's easy to do is to be distracted.
Absolutely.
Like the first point, what's easy to do is the one to reply. What is not easy to do, that requires intentionality, that requires actually choosing, making a choice consciously, is to actually be fully present. Like fully present. Put down the phone, turn off the TV, you know, avoid distraction, eliminate stuff, put your phone on DND. If you know that this person really means a lot to you, this conversation really means a lot to you, why not? And that's why we normally advise couple to have regular date nights, you know, where you have that time where you could put the phone away, you know, and completely just put the phone away and focus on precisely what you have decided to do. If you have decided to watch a movie, everybody focuses on the movie. If you have decided to play a game, everybody focuses on the game. If you have whatever you have decided to do, I promise you nobody will die in between playing that game, you know, or whatever it is that you are, so that you can fully connect. And if your spouse is trying to tell you something as well, put all of those things aside so that you can be fully available to listen.
And if whatever it is that you want to do or you are doing is more important than that conversation, then it's absolutely okay to say, oh, sweetheart, this is really urgent. This is really important. Is it okay if I quickly tidy this up? You know, so again, that's also part of communicating. You know, say for example, you need to respond to an urgent email. You know, like what my husband was doing now. You know, he was doing something very important, but, but I don't know exactly what he was doing. You know, it's the communication. So, oh, babe, you know, I really need to do something right now. Then that person knows that, okay, I will give you 2 minutes, I'll give you 5, I'll give you the next day, you know, whatever it is, you know, to sort that out. It means that you're acknowledging that, you know,
important to me. This conversation is important to me as well, you know, and you know, I would love to be available. Right now I can't, but if you give me till this time, I will be fully available.
So don't forget what we said last week. Don't assume. Don't assume. Very that important. They should know. Can they see that I'm busy?
The third point is seeking clarification. Seeking clarification is important because, like, while you're trying to listen very well, while you are fully present and available, sometimes maybe you missed something, or maybe your interpretation of what they've just said isn't quite really what they meant.
Right.
And that means that the onus falls on you to seek clarification. And, you know, and say, hey, and it's always good to put seeking clarification first before your reply or before your response. Why? Because it affirms that you truly got what they said. Someone said the purpose of communication is to understand and be understood. So if you don't understand and the other person is not understood, both of you have not communicated. No matter how many hours you shouted at each other, no matter how many hours you spent there, if you didn't understand what they said and you were not understood, both of you have failed at that communication at that particular point in time. You know, so it's really important that you seek clarification and say, you know, babe, from what you've just shared right now, this is what I got from it. Am I correct? Is that right? Or are you you know, thank you so much for everything you've shared. You know, are you saying that we should be going to bed together at the same time? You know, you're trying to confirm that you understood, you know, precisely what they are trying to say. And guess what? If you don't understand, excuse me, I don't think I got that. You know, could you come again? Or you ask questions. You know, I was teaching my boys recently, and I told them, I said, you know, to get understanding, you need to learn to ask questions. You know, people who want to understand things are people who ask questions. And don't just say, is everything okay? Yes, everything's okay. No, ask questions so that you can fully understand. Did you get it? Yes. No. Oh, you know, I was just wondering, was this what you meant? Even if that's all the question. Was this what you meant when you said that way? you remove every possible every possible issues.
Every assumption, you just eliminate it.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking it in your head. So they're saying that I'm
not good enough. Yeah. They're saying that I'm abandoning them. They are saying that I don't love them anymore.
So it's important for you to clarify, and rather than overthinking or overanalyzing things in your head. Based on what your brain is telling you, what
analysis paralysis is real. Yeah.
So it's important that you seek clarification. Ask questions, like my husband has said, because it will help you, eliminate a lot of problems.
Yeah. That takes us to number 4.
Yes, number 4 is respond kindly. Respond kindly. And this involves you acknowledging your spouse's feelings, their emotions. So going back to our first example, when I said, oh, babe, I feel left out, when you don't come to bed with me at night, so how would he then respond, if we are talking about acknowledging, feelings or responding kindly? Yeah, okay. let's
I'll be like, oh, babe, I understand how you feel. I'm sorry that you feel left out. I'm sorry that, it's hard for me to come to the bed with you every day. Okay. Can we reach a compromise? So that's the part of acknowledging the person's feeling. Before you even put your own forward, you acknowledge the person's feeling. Before you put your argument forward, don't put your argument first. If you put your argument first, it will look as though you did not hear anything they just said. You are just trying to give it back to them.
Yeah.
Right? You put their feelings forward. You validate that feeling, and after you validate that feeling, I can tell you for a fact, this conversation that we are having quite gently has caused a lot of issues in our marriage many times. And it like we said, it takes a lot of intentionality.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, nobody wants to validate anybody's feeling. Like sincerely, unconsciously, naturally, what you just want to do is respond, and then she respond, and then guess what? It's a crazy cycle of people responding. But what takes intentionality is, wow, that makes you feel that way. You validate how that person is feeling, and then move on to
I think that's very important. Another way to also put it could be that you say, because the person might not even mention their feelings, but you can say something in the lines of, I can see that you feel really pained by this, or I can see that you are really disappointed by this. So you, even when they don't mention that feeling, but you are able to take out of
if you listen very well,
yes, because that's an evidence that you listened. Wow, that means they get me. They can feel my emotions. For you to say, you're really I can see that you're really pained by that. I can feel that this really hurts you. I can see that you're not happy about what happened.
I see how I hurt you.
Yes, it's actually like more like I see that what I've done. You're pained by it.
That's taking responsibility.
Yes, or I have hurt you by that. That's an apology language kind of style. So it goes a long way to actually make them feel okay. They feel better because wow, yes. I offloaded this thing to them and they get it. The moment you can label that emotion, you feel frustrated by it. They get it. Like, yes, I feel frustrated. So they feel like you are validating that feeling.
Yeah, you're confirming.
Yes, you're confirming. You are feeling the way they feel.
That makes you a high priest or a priest. Who's not moved by the who's moved by the feelings of your environment. Very important.
So it's very important that you can validate and be kind about it when you respond. Don't just say, hey, you feel pain, so what am I supposed to do about that?
That's the worst way. The worst way. Oh, you feel pain, I feel pain too. All of us are feeling pain.
Yeah, we are pain together. That one is not good.
They say 2 wrongs can never make it right. And these things happen. It has happened to us before. So we are owning that it has happened before. Even till now, God is helping us to deal with it. It's not something that is very easy to do. Like we said, all of it takes a lot of intentionality.
It does.
A lot of maturity, a lot of growth. Younger couples,
a lot of spirit filled.
A lot of the Holy Spirit's help.
Absolutely.
So God will help us. And
Amen.
That takes us to number 5.
Yes, repeat the cycle. Repeat the cycle. So you go back to number 1. So I have expressed how I feel to him, and then he also, it's not like I've said, I've said my part, and then we walk away. I said that you feel hot, or you're hot, or you're pain, or have pain. No, and then that's the end. No, so he's listened, but I also need to give him room to express himself,
so that you two can
listen. So we are repeating that cycle, and both of us are in the in the communication cycle together. And so he could say something like, "Oh, sweetheart, after acknowledging my feelings, it's not like it's not like that to actually,
it's not like it's not like that. First of all, validating your feeling and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way." But
this makes you feel.
Makes you feel that way. That was not intended. Really, for me, those times when you've gone to bed, the kids have gone to bed, is like my me time. And that me time really means a lot to me, because of course throughout the day I've been a busy dad, a busy husband, and I just feel like I need that time to myself, after I've prayed, after I've done my stuff. And it would be good that I at least get an hour of me time to myself. Please, maybe we could reach a compromise where I do that for about 2-3 days a week, and then the other days of the week I can get my me time. Would that be okay?
So he has expressed how he feels about it, his own perspective about it. He's talked about how it means a lot to him. It is his me time after all the things he's done at home, he's rewarding himself, and then I was listening, to all of those.
Being present.
Yes, I was also paying attention. Eye contact. That's very important in focusing. Eye contact. So I was listening to him. I was smiling. I was nodding. It shows that I was focusing. And then I'm able to. Oh, okay, babe, I understand. I can now sort of also acknowledge.
Validate your feeling.
Yes, and then we can both sort of get to the last point where we
reach an agreement.
Yes, because that's the whole point of communication.
Yes, to understand and be understood, and to reach an agreement or to move forward. So many times the reason why many people can't reach an agreement or reach a compromise or move forward is simply because they are not listening, they are not present, they're not doing any of those things, because it takes a lot of intentionality and maturity to be able to do that. What is natural is to not listen. It's like turn by turn in a boxing ring. Somebody finished their own turn.
Time for me to punch through.
I give my own turn back, and and we all did. At the end of the day, we scatter everything. And that's what most people do. Most people just try to dominate the conversation. It's just me, it's me alone. I'm important. No, and nobody gets anywhere with that. And I can tell you for a fact, it takes maturity, it takes intentionality to get there. All right?
And eventually, even if you cannot reach that agreement immediately, sometimes depending on how serious the conversation is, or the topic of conversation is, sometimes you may not be able to reach an agreement on that same day. You may have to defer it, and
like the court now. Court adjourned.
And if for whatever reason you realize that the tempo is escalating. It's escalating.
Babe, I don't think we should continue this conversation right now. Yes, let's leave it for the Holy Ghost. I'm kidding, but I think we should. I think we should, leave it to another time where we'll be more calm, and be able to take this up a notch. The most important thing in communication is to be understood and to understand the other person. When that has not been achieved, one person will feel spited. One person will feel, no communication has happened at all. And this is why it's important that both communicators, both parties, give grace to each other, allow each other to express themselves, be fully present, be fully available, listen, do all those things that we mentioned. Then guess what? You are going to be understood, and then you would understand what they're trying to say. And guess what? At the end of the day, whatever conclusion, whether it's an agreement, whether it's a compromise, it will be done in unity.
Absolutely.
We'll both agree that this is the way we are trying to go. We are actually trying to reach a compromise. We're trying to compromise. Okay, we'll compromise. Like in the example we gave, 3 days a week, we'll go to bed together. The remaining 4 days, I'll get me time. And guess what? most likely everybody will be happy, or at least for that time. we test that and see.
Like, no, 5 days a week.
We start with that and then see how it leads. But the goal is that everybody gets understood, and then we are able to move on in perfect harmony, and they lived happily
ever after.
All right. I know many of the examples we've used today maybe leads to maybe something we are having conflict about or not agreeing about. But sometimes this whole entire principles also apply to when you're just seeking to connect, just seeking to connect, and you're just there. It's worse if that person is not necessarily trying to be there with you. So the whole entire thing about listening is that person is being there, being fully present, being fully available, connecting with how you feel at that time. You just want to cuddle at that person is available for that cuddle. Yes. If you're trying to cuddle with the person and the person is not available for the cuddle, that's cuddle broken.
Or if I'm on my phone.
Yeah, or the person's on the phone and you're trying to cuddle. It will make the other person feel alone, and it just, and those are the kind of things that gradually chip away from the love and the unity at home, and it just makes things worse and worse. I want to speak to us men. We men tend to, because we are very logical people, we're not necessarily emotional. Being available can be a bit tough, all right? For us, it's important that we, at the times when our wives are sharing things with us, our women are sharing things with us, we are intentional in connecting. We're intentional in being emotionally present and available, because it means a lot to the person, right? Just being present alone has shown that you are there, has shown that you value the person. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. It shows you value the person. But when you're not, it also gives this vibe that I don't value you.
You don't value,
I don't value what you have to say. I'm just going to still do my thing, and that just makes things worse. Right?
Yep.
All right, with this viewpoint of ours, we hope we've been able to convince and not confuse you that communication can be effective in marriage when done with intentionality.
Yep.
Thank you very much for listening to us today. For those who left us a comment while they watch us live, we noticed a few people came and they left, or maybe network took them out, so there's no way we would have known. But those who left us a comment, thank you so much for today. We are very grateful. And of course, those who watch the recording later, we hope this really means a lot to you and you're able to take one or two things away from this. Until next week, when we'll come your way again with another juicy, educative, inspiring title. Stay blessed. This is PDM. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye now.